Hi, good evening. My name is Kevina Lorae, and I am into a lot of things. Most people know me as a personal trainer and nutrition coach. Some people know me as owner of Aphrodite's Playground, online adult toy boutique. And yeah, that's why everyone thought it was going to be like really wild. I feel like this is a tame this is a tame presentation for me. But most importantly, and why I'm here tonight, is because I am a sensuality doula and a Reiki practitioner. So a lot of you probably wondered just now, what is a sensuality doula? So how a doula, a birthing doula, would help assist with childbirth, a sensuality doula helps women reconnect with their sensual self. This improves confidence, quality of life, and relationships, including the relationship with yourself. So this started on Instagram, believe it or not. I used to just post erotic art and sensual selfies of myself that I liked. And soon I was like flooded with messages from women who were inspired by me and were like, I love how you take up space and you're unapologetic. I also had some hate mail, but that was cool. So quickly this went from Instagram to being a full-time career. I educated myself on sexuality, life coaching, Reiki, and healing practices. So then I started to host events in the community for sex positivity, body positivity, and healing. I began speaking at events, teaching self-love, hearing women talk about sexuality, assigning journal entries, and after much demand, I put together services that I could give for one-on-one time with women, because they love the group thing, but they want it, just me. Chakras are your energy centers. They help regulate organ function, immune system, and emotions. Your 7 chakras are positioned through your body, starting at the base of your spine, or down here, your root chakra, and going up to the top. Anytime a chakra begins to be blocked, overactive, or underactive, it can throw off your balance physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. In order to restore balance to the blockage, or the negative energy must be removed. This can be achieved through Reiki, conscious breathing, Tai Chi, chakra meditation, acupuncture, acupressure, yoga, aromatherapy, or healing stones. So that's what I have here, some healing stones, and that's my vibe, a little sexy thing. While as a Reiki practitioner, I will work on all 7 chakras always. My signature program is built around the sacral chakra. Second of the chakras, its name is translated to one's own dwelling. Located below the navel, your sacral chakra forms your deepest connections with sensuality and passion. It governs your relationships, self-discovery, and that includes emotions, passion, connectivity, intimacy, and sex. Motivated by pleasure and joy, your sacral chakra is the driving force of enjoyment in your life. As this is the center of passion, it awakens the power of creation. Discover what you love, create, and just be involved in intimate relationships. So your sacral chakra is responsible for all of that. Key characteristics, I'm going to go through some. So it helps with emotions, balancing your emotions, and it also helps with pleasure. It's often nicknamed the pleasure center, and it is very active in sexuality and our expression of sensuality. It helps you understand and develop deep, intimate connections. It helps with creativity, so you can get back into an old vice, like poetry is it for me. Just kind of rediscover yourself and just go back to what you love. And this is from my ebook, and I'll get to that in a bit. A blocked sacral chakra can cause insecurity, fear of pleasure, lack of creativity, fatigue, a lack of desire, detachment, not being authentic to self. So listen, if you experience some of these things. An overactive sacral chakra can create unhealthy relationships, dramatic responses to things, aggression, anxiety, excessive emotional attachment, and an addictive personality, which can sometimes manifest into hypersexuality. Chakra balancing is the process of restoring the flow of prana, which is the energy throughout your body, and they fluctuate constantly, meaning aligning your chakras is something that you could do on a daily basis to make sure that you feel good, body, mind, and spirit. Here are some things that you can do to help balance your chakras on your own. Get near water. So the ocean, if you walk by the ocean, if you want to sit by a pond, that would be great. I love the bathtub. I'm not big on ocean and outside all the time, but I'm always in the bathtub with my candles. Creativity is a great way to awaken your sacral chakra. Yoga, especially hip opening poses, are great for sacral chakra balancing. Meditation. So traditional meditation is simple. You sit and you're at peace. Chakra balancing meditation, you set an intention to clear that chakra, and you might want to use some aromatherapy and other stuff that goes along with that chakra. This here is my ebook. It is a 30-day self-love journal to help women reflect, connect to their sensual self, consider thought-provoking questions, and clear chakra blockages. So that could help if you're new to journaling. How I help clients realign their chakras is with Reiki, aromatherapy, journal entries. I help create mantras, offer emotional support, and I might assign something that's specific to that client. And this might include helping women reconnect with their sensual self in different kinds of ways and assigning homework. So, to stay in the loop and find out what I'm doing and about my ebook and stuff, you can follow me on Lorae_uncensored. And if you heard Toy Store at the beginning, and that's what you wanted me to talk about, you can follow me at Aphrodite_playground. And my websites are KevinaLorae.com and AphroditesPlayground.com. Thank you so much.
Well, I hope we have some questions now, right? Right? Oh, yes, that gentleman.
Hi.
That gentleman. Hello, sir, who I've never seen before in my life.
Ever.
How are you this evening?
Not in this space either. I have a gajillion questions for you, but I'll just ask one for now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to mess up the name of the act. But Sesta Foster or something like that. Anyway, there's an act. Yeah, I did it right. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Louis. Good source of information. And basically what this act is doing is through the internet, it's kind of eradicating sex. So, yeah. So, it's not eradicating sex. It's okay if you're Pornhub, but if you... So anybody here who might follow Tumblr would notice that all sexual things are now off of Tumblr. It's all as a result of this act. And basically the act was supposed to protect against sexual trafficking. I feel like I'm talking, I'm not asking the question, but I want everybody to understand the question. So the act was intended to help victims of sexual trafficking. But what it's doing is curtailing all activities, including those of sensual doulas and sex workers and who aren't in human trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess my question is, given that your experience as a sensual doula is directly tied to your Instagram presence and you have a toy store that's also online, how is that affecting you? Or is it?
It is extremely frustrating. So I can't put stuff out there, even because of my page, because I deal with matters of sexuality. If I had a body positive photo shoot recently, and it was amazing. Women of all shapes and sizes, colors came out in the community. to just celebrate our bodies. And I wanted to get this out to as many people as possible. So I tried to do a Facebook ad, and because my Instagram says sensuality doula, and I have just the artistic selfies in which I'm like, it's nude, but it's artistic nude. Facebook, Instagram, all of those platforms don't allow me to advertise at all. So it's extremely frustrating because we're treated, especially women, we're treated as if our bodies are just like offensive and we need to like lock them up, and we can't share them in the way that we want to if we want to. And one of my things, like if you go to my website, it says I'm pro prude and pro ho, which means that I feel like women should be able to express themselves sensually in the way that they want, and that could be not showing anything at all. That could be completely covering up from head to toe, or it could be showing yourself. But in the same respect, I feel like other people show our bodies. Like for males advertise with female bodies all the time, but when we do it ourselves, we're censored. So it's extremely frustrating that when I want to express myself and have something on display that I think is beautiful and artistic, I'm censored. When I see other people on the same platform advertising and using women's bodies for profit and stuff like that, when I just want to change the community and change the way that people think, and I'm pretty much censored all the time. So I feel like I went on a bit because you hit a soft spot, but it is very frustrating. And like people see sex as this bad thing, but sometimes sensual things are just beautiful. And I feel like once we take the time out to stop looking at sex and sexuality as something that's crude and aggressive, and we look at it as something that's sacred, then we will be better as a community. And if you don't, at least respect the people that do to have their own thing. I always say, if someone's eating pizza and you are lactose intolerant, you don't go to the waiter and say, hey, that person's eating pizza, I can't eat cheese. If someone else wants to do something, I feel like they should have the freedom to do so, and it doesn't affect you directly. So.
Hi, thank you very much.
Hello.
I'm sort of glad I didn't research tonight's presenters before I brought my 16-year-old son for his first time. How is your profession, for lack of a better word, being received in Bermuda? Is it different ages, different races?
You know what? Surprisingly, it has been very well received. And as you can see, I meditate and I take care to make sure that I fill myself up first. And I'm a firm believer that you attract what you put out there. And while I've had like a couple people message me and call me names and stuff like that, I never was like, oh, stressed about it. Like I was never stressed about it. I was just like, okay, cool. It's just somebody who just has a different viewpoint than me. And I feel like that energy just kept people out of my way that don't agree with me. So it's been uncanny because I feel like I've been doing this for over a year now, and the amount of instances are so little where I felt like I've been negatively received. I'm blessed, and I find myself in contact with women of all different demographics, different shape, sizes, colors, people that I never would be in communication with have reached out to me, one to say, hey, you inspire me and thank you. And that's extremely humbling because I realize now that this is so much bigger than myself. But even for my toy store, I make deliveries and I'm in neighborhoods that I've never been in before. And I am humbled and grateful that I am actually being received by the community. And yes, there are some naysayers, but their voices are so little that I can't hear them. Hey.
You did great.
Thanks.
My question is, how can men be better sex-positive allies to the female counterparts, no matter the dynamic of the relationship, whether it's platonic, familial, whatever the case may be? Do you have any insight on that?
So do you guys have an hour? I was a joke, Alba. Wow. Okay. So I actually had a male the other day tell me that he was joking, and he said that I was sexist because all of my work was for women. And it was kind of like a joke, but it like wasn't funny. So I was like, well, I do this thing for women, and like just support. Everything's not always for you, but you could just support. And in the same respect, I have a lot of men that come up to me and say, hey, I feel differently about like what my girlfriend wears now because of you. Like I feel like she's allowed to express herself in different ways because of you. Or they see the way that women move differently because after following my page. And I've had a lot of men come to me like that. And I feel like if you're gonna just be supportive, just be supportive. You know, sometimes stuff is for women. Sometimes stuff is for a group. And I feel like just be supportive and be there and stop trying to put women in a box. So the biggest instance I get where women come up to me and they say men are not being supportive is when they're in a relationship and they'll say, well, he doesn't like when I do this. And it's to the point where like I'm all for power exchange if that's what you want. But it's in a way where she feels stifled. And I feel like have open communication in your relationship and kind of meet in the middle, but try not to see women and say, hey, you're this thing that I own and I want to put you in a box. And I mean that for women that you're in a relationship with, women that you don't know in the street, because men, while there's a lot of supportive and great men out there, can be very opinionated on what we do with our bodies. I can't walk down the street without a man telling me to smile, even though I'm on my phone. Like, it's, you know what I mean? I'm just walking down the street. I just want to walk, and I'm told to smile. And I feel like the best way to be supportive is to just let us be. Like, just let us be. Like we have a lot going on. We're often very multifaceted. We have a lot going on. We do a lot, and we love you. Like, just let us be and let us exist and move the way that we want to. And that's the best way that you can support a woman, in my opinion.